Okay, students, so today we're going to just go over again the present progressive tense. So we know that simple present tense is the subject and the simple present verb together. So I walk to the bus, simple present tense, right? And we use simple present tense to let people know it happens a lot. So when we say something like I walk to the bus, it means it's something that we do in the present, meaning like now, but it's not right now in the moment. It's talking about this is what I do a lot in my life in the present, not something that I did. It could be something that you did in the past and that you still do, but the point is that it's talking about something that you do a lot. Now, I walk to the bus is simple present tense. But if we said, I am walking to the bus, that's present progressive tense. Sometimes it's called present continuous. In English, sometimes that's what it means because when you put ing, the ing at the end of a verb, it makes the verb something that is something that's was happening and still is happening, something that is happening and will keep happening in the future. So this is how to make present progressive tense. You need a subject, you need a form of be, a verb, and ing, or the ing, at the end of the verb. So when I say a form of be, it just means that you need to use am, or is, or are. So for example, I am walking. I is the subject, am is the form of be. It's a different version of be. And then you have the verb walk, which is simple present tense, but we put an ing at the end of it to make it progressive. I am walking. Now, the big question is, do I use am, is, or are? Because you've got a lot of different pronouns, right? You have a lot of different subjects you can use. Which one do I use? There's 3 of them. So when you say, when you're talking about the present, the only forms of be that you can use are am, is, or are when you're talking about present tense right now. When you use I, you need to say I am. Okay? If you say it, or if you're talking about it, or he, or a she, you use is. If you say you, we, or they, you use are. So you are, we are, they are, or it is, he is, she is. So these am only works with I, is only works with it, he, and she, and are only works with you, we, and they. So we're going to do a little bit of practice. So we have the form. This is how we make it, right? You have the subject, a form of be, am, is, are, the verb, and then ing at the end, ing at the end. So if we had said, like simple present tense, I clean the 6th floor, something that you do a lot. But we want to say it in simple, or in present progressive tense. So what we have to do is we have our little group here that tells us which form of be we need to use, am, is, or are. So we said I. So that means we need to say I am. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I am, and then the rest of the sentence is clean the 6th floor. There's another thing that we need to do to make it correct in English. I am cleaning the 6th floor. So I am cleaning the 6th floor is different from I clean the 6th floor. They're 2 different tenses. This one is I clean the 6th floor is simple present tense, right? Something that you do a lot. And I am cleaning the 6th floor is present progressive tense, which means it's something that you're doing right now in the moment. So I am cleaning the 6th floor is the correct way to say it. Now we're going to do some more practice. You work tomorrow. Now we want to change it to present progressive tense. So we add a form of be. You, and since we said you, we need to use are. You are work tomorrow. Now, the other thing we need to do, remember, is add ing at the end of the verb. So you are working tomorrow. That's how we make it present progressive. So we're going to do another practice. So he leaves at 4. How are we going to change it to present progressive tense? We add is. We don't say he am or he are. We say he is leaving at 4. He is leaving at 4. And the other thing I wanted to point out to you is when last video we talked about how when you use he, she, or it, you have to put an S at the end of the verb, right? When you're talking simple present tense. He leaves at 4 instead of saying he leave at 4. But if you say I leave at 4, you don't need to put an S. If you say you or we or they, you don't need to put an S. But if it's a he, she, or an it that you're talking about, that's the subject, then you need to put an S at the end. But when we're going into present progressive tense, we don't need to have the S anywhere, even though we're saying, we're talking about he or a she or a thing that's an it, right? An animal or an object, right? So since we don't need the S, we just take it off. So you just say he is leaving at 4. You can think about it like the S, instead of being at the end of the verb, it's right here. It's an is, right? There's an S right here. So that's one of the ways that you can think about it to help you understand that you don't need to put an S at the end of the verb in he is leaving at 4. You would not say he is leavings at 4. You just say he is leaving at 4. You don't need to put an S. So we're going to do another one. So this one has a long subject. My boyfriend and his friends. So if you're saying my boyfriend and his friends, it's a lot of people, so it's plural, but you're also talking about people that don't include you. It's not you. So what you do is, that could be they. They go to the beach, right? Simple present tense. But to change it to present progressive, my boyfriend and his friends, since it's a they, we say are. They are going to the beach, and that's correct. So why do I use present progressive tense? Ooh, went too far. Why do I use this? Why do I need to say it this way? Why can't I just use simple present tense all the time? So we use present progressive tense to talk about something, an action, whatever is happening, that is happening right now in the moment, or something that is still happening right now and will keep happening. So we use it to talk about actions. Just think about it as something that's happening right now. Something that you're doing right now and you could have been doing it before. It might happen in the future, but the point is that it's something that's happening right now. Something that you're doing right now. Like, if you said, I talk, that means that you talk a lot, it's something that you can do. But if you said, I am talking, then you're saying that I am talking right now. That's what I'm doing right now. So for example, we say, I am driving to the store. This person is driving right now in the moment to the store. If they say, I drive to the store, that means that's usually how they get there. That's how they get there a lot, is they drive their car. But if you say, I am driving to the store, that means that you're doing it right now. He is getting his hair cut. That means it's happening right now. So we're going to do some practice just to show you why it's important to use present progressive tense. So this sentence is in simple present tense. My daughter works at a bank. The next sentence, my daughter is working at a bank. So the first sentence, my daughter works at a bank, tells the person that's listening to you, they say, they hear what you say and they go, okay, so that their daughter has a job at a bank. They work at a bank a lot, right? So that means that they have a job there. But if you said my daughter is working at a bank, that would be like if somebody said, oh, where is your daughter? You could say, oh, my daughter is working at a bank. That means that that's where she is at right now. Now, this is something you hear a lot in English. People will say, I work out. It means that they exercise. It means they go to the gym, or they like to go running, or they run, or they bike. They ride a bicycle to exercise. But people usually say, I work out. Now, since this is in simple present tense, I work out, right? That means that they do it a lot. It happens all the time. But if somebody said, I am working out, that means that that person is doing it right now. That means that they're doing it in the moment. So somebody said, oh, what do you like to do? And you said, oh, I work out. That means it's something that you like to do a lot, something that you do all the time. But if somebody said, where are you right now? What are you doing? And you said, like somebody called you on the phone, and you say, oh, I am working out. That means it's something that you're doing right now. So that's why they're different. Now, this is a big one. So somebody says, they are rude. They are rude, you know? But if somebody said they are being rude, two different things. They're two different things. If somebody said they are rude, that would mean that that person's saying that that person is, or those people are rude people, just all the time. That's just who they are as people. But if you said they are being rude, it means that you're not saying that they are a rude person. It means that whatever they said to you or what they're doing to you in the moment is rude. So if you said, oh, they are rude, it means that those people, that person is rude. That group of people, they're rude. If you said they are being rude, it's just saying, oh, well, they did this thing, or they did something that was rude. It wasn't very nice. And so you're not saying that they are rude as a person. You're just saying that the action was rude, or what they did was rude, not that they're a rude person. So how to make present progressive tense negative. So this one we've gone over before. So we have the sentence in present progressive, I am taking the bus. We've got our subject, we have our form of be, which is am, and we have the verb and ing, taking. Not take, taking. I am taking the bus. So all we have to do to make it negative is put not. That's all we got to do. You put not after the form of be and before the verb. That's all you got to do. You just got to stick it right there. And you need to make sure that it's always right there and not anywhere else. You can't say, I not am taking the bus. Doesn't make sense. But if you said, I am not taking the bus, that's correct. So we're going to make the sentence negative. You can't see it right here, but that's what it says. Make the sentences negative. So we have the sentence, we are leaving early. To make it negative, we just say, we are not leaving early. My boss is acting happy, right? Is the form of be, right? Comes after the subject, and then we have the verb acting. So to make it negative, we say, my boss is not acting happy. The nurses are meeting for lunch. How do we make it negative? The nurses are not meeting for lunch. Now we're going to talk a little bit about contractions. We've talked about it before. Contractions are English words that are smooshed together to make one word. So I am is I'm, she is, she's, he is, he's, it is, it's, you are, you're, they are, they're, we are, we're. Those are those contractions. So you can say I am, she is. They just mean the same. And so I am and I'm, same thing. All of these, she is, she's, he is, he's, they mean the same thing, right? So if you said he is coming with us, or if you said he's coming with us, those two sentences mean the same thing. Now, is not can be squished together and it sounds like isn't. That word is isn't. Is not and isn't, same thing. Are not and aren't, that's how you pronounce that one. It's like saying are and nt together, aren't. Same thing. So I am not, you could say I'm not, right? She is not, you can say she's not, or you can say she isn't. He is not, you can say he's not, or you could say he isn't. It is not can be it's not or it isn't. So it is not, it's not, and it isn't, they're all the same thing. They all mean the same thing. They're just different ways to say it in English. You are not can be you're not or you aren't. We are not is we're not or we aren't. They are not can be they're not or they aren't, right? They're not or they aren't. So if we say she isn't coming with us, isn't just means is not, right? So it's a negative. She isn't coming with us. You're driving to work. You're means you are. You are driving to work. They aren't riding with us. Just means they are not riding with us. We're not leaving early is just we are not leaving early. You could also say we aren't leaving early. He's shopping right now. He's means he is. So the sentence is he is shopping right now. Now, the last thing we're going to go over is how to make questions in present progressive tense. So this one is super easy. All you have to do is flip the subject and the form of be. So if you say are or am or is, you just flip them with the subject. So for example, all we have to do, if we said we are leaving at 6, to change it, we just say, are we leaving at 6? So you just put the are in front of the we, and you put the we where the are is. Are we leaving at 6? And you made it a question. So we're going to make some questions now. So if we have the sentence, she is feeling sad, right? How would we make that a question? We say, is she feeling sad? Your mom is coming to pick you up. Is your mom coming to pick you up? Oh, I made a little spelling error. So it's supposed to say, is your mom coming to pick you up? So that's how you make a question. The patient is asking for a doctor. Is the patient asking for a doctor? You made it a question. So we put is in front of the patient because the patient is the person that we're talking about. They are the subject. So we just move it in front. Their family is living in California. To make it a question, put is in front of their family because that's who we're talking about. That's what the subject is. Is their family living in California? She is learning how to be a nurse. We just flip it to the front. Is she learning how to be a nurse? Somebody is leaving trash all over the ground. Is somebody leaving trash all over the ground? We turned it into a question. So, really quick. So you probably were listening and you said, this word right here, there, sounds a lot like they're like they are, right? Hold on, let me show you. There, right here. So you see how it says there, and it says T-H-E-Y, there's a little apostrophe, R-E, there. But then in this one, it says there. They sound the same. What's the difference? Because they're spelled differently, because they look different, they're different words. This there, it means to own, or it's yours. So if you said their family, it means that person's family. It's their family. But if you said they're going to California, that would be they are going to California. So that's what the difference is. And then that's it for today. So that's the lesson for today. I'll have one more for you tomorrow, and I'll see you next lesson.